very good morning to you. Welcome to the newspaper review this morning on Quest Television. My name is Alex Ogbonnaya, and I have here with me Comrade Efe Domo. Comrade Efe, good morning to you.
Good morning, welcome to another show, our midweek.
Yes, indeed.
Broadcast.
Yes, indeed. We have, how many papers do we have now? We have The Nation, we have The Punch, we have Vanguard, we have Guardian, and we have Daily Trust newspapers. All the papers for the next 45, 50 minutes or thereabouts, we shall be looking at the stories, making the headlines, and then of course Comrade Efe will be helping us to throw in more light on the issues. We start off with The Nation newspaper. Killing of monarchs, abduction of pupils in Ekiti, draw outrage. Yes, that's the lead story on the front page. Ekiti is really boiling, killing, but not boiling. There's no war crisis there, but boiling in the sense that two monarchs were killed on Monday, and a few hours later or day after, a school bus was also abducted. 6 pupils and 3 teachers and their driver were abducted. They were on their way from school. They were on their way home from school, and everyone is really complaining about that incident. Abductors demand 100 million naira. President directs rescue of pupils and arrests of gunmen. That's the lead story on the front page of The Nation. And above the masthead, Tinubu orders timely end to minimum wage talks. Atiku playing cheap politics on national issues, and 1.5 million in Benue IDP camps. Governor Ali laments Abuja. Okay, this is not very clear now. I just have to live it out. Okay, CBN pays $64 million airlines forex backlog. At business related. Senators, reps seek urgent action against insecurity. Everyone is really complaining. The rate of spate of insecurity in Nigeria is becoming so alarming. Okay, comrade, let's not look at The Nation newspaper now. We're just going to take them one by one. Let's go to Ekiti State, where 2 monarchs were killed on Monday. There were actually 3 on their way back from a meeting when these gunmen ambushed them, and 2 were killed. 1 narrowly escaped with his life intact, and not long after, a bus conveying pupils back home from school was ambushed, and the pupils, the teachers, and the driver were abducted.
Well, I think it's a very sad news. I don't even know how to start it actually. But may the souls of the departed monarchs rest in perfect peace. But how long do we continue to pray for the souls of the dead to be resting in peace, while actually the authorities that are supposed to have done something are not doing anything? In fact, we are very concerned. Nobody knows the next person the pendulum will switch. If they could attack a whole monarch and killing 2 in the process, it's an absurd. You see, we are living as if we don't have a security apparatus in Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria, I think, is collapsing. Let me not use the word collapse. You just go to anywhere, carry your gun and start shooting at people, killing them, and nothing happens. The next thing we hear is they have directed the security agencies to fish out the killers and arrest the accused. Who are the accused that they want to go and arrest? How could somebody have carried a gun all the way from his home, walk through the street, pass through checkpoints, and start shooting people? Meanwhile, in our area here, you see with a Dane gun going to the farm to go and hunt for animals, you'll be arrested for possession of a firearms. So how is it that they will be able to arrest somebody with Dane gun and they will not send anybody with AK-47? AK-47 is not a pistol that you can fold into your pocket. So something must be wrong. The security architecture needs to be rigid. So many things need to be done. But again, too, because of the longevity in the kidnapping industry, it's not an industry. Almost everybody is now involved in the kidnapping. We see some of them in military uniform, full military uniform. You start asking questions. Where did they get this uniform from? And why is it that because definitely if 5 people are on the road with guns mounting a checkpoint in military uniform, there is something that can make you to suspect that they were kidnappers.
They are not military men.
So we're even more volatile now. And you are traveling, you see people flag you down, you'll be afraid. Are these people real? Are they real conventional military, or is they kidnappers? Everybody say Madison has it in their mouth. We should. When we say we should do something, actually, I don't even know what should be done by now. Because we left it too long to crawl, and it has become almost a DNA in every Nigerian system now. You need to go to your mosque, or you go to your church, you go to anywhere to go and do prayer and fasting before you can travel. It is bad. It is bad. You are in your home, you are not safe. You are on the street, you are not safe. You are on the road, you are not safe. What are we actually talking about now?
Okay. Yesterday, the federal government inaugurated the minimum wage committee, and Tinubu was not there. The president, the vice president, did it on his behalf, but he has asked that they make sure that their discussions, end quickly and in good time, so that implementation can start. What are we expecting from this committee?
The only thing I think the government should have done, come out with what you want to give to the workers. Setting up a committee does not solve this problem, because they will never agree. The government will not want to go higher, and the labor force will not want to come down. To meet at an equilibrium point will be a bit difficult. Now you have told them that they should come out quickly. Did you give them terms of reference? Did you tell the area at which you are looking? Or they should just go down and discuss and come back home? Now most state governors are telling you they don't have the funds to even pay the current salary of ground. You now want them to go back again and increase the salary. Are you going to increase their allocation, the state allocation? If you are going to increase the state allocation, where is that extra money coming from the budget? Was it captured in the budget? And if it was captured in the budget, now our international reserve is dwindling. The oil that we all depend on is also not doing too well. And you want to start increasing all this. Now the money you have saved from subsidy removal, which because that's what everybody is talking about now, it has become the new bride. I still continue to say it. Plow this money into areas that will benefit the whole country. Because if you increase the staff salaries now, it is going to spiral into every sector of the economy, and it's going to affect every human being. Because there is no tag on the forehead of any man that I'm a civil servant, my salary has been increased. This one will continue, I am a mechanic, I have not increased my charges. The market women will now start looking at them at a different angle. They will tell you they have increased salaries, and have increased salaries. And those people that are not even near the corridor of that salary increment will also bear the brunt. So at the end of the day, it still leads to hyperinflation, and level of hunger will be more, because so many people will not be able to afford the new prices in the market. And they must have to feed. Stomach infrastructure, you cannot wheel it away. And it is going to be a major problem. Why is it that everything we do, you popularize it? When the Senate was to appropriate around 107 billion naira to themselves, not the whole Senate, but the Senate leadership, did they set up a panel to review it? When they were to buy cars of almost 57 million per member, did they even set up a panel to review it? Why is it that this thing is now affecting common man? They're setting up a panel that the vice president will go there and sit down, Minister of Labour will be there, Labour Union will be there, trying to iron out how much they are giving to staff. It's not too fair at all. Yeah, you don't expose somebody's salary to the public.
There was something I beg your pardon, Joe Ajero said, hours after the setting up of the inauguration of the committee. He said some of the governors, because this committee has members from government side, some of the governors who the federal government appointed as members, these are people who are even struggling to pay 30,000 minimum wage.
And you wanted to increase the money.
To be members of this committee. What guarantee? That means they're going to have a really. They're going to throw the
whole society into chaos. Nobody the 30,000 is a problem. Now you now say the person should go and start paying a 50 or 60,000. Are you not expecting them to retrench? And if they retrench, what happens to the vacant positions, the leftover jobs for those people? Who is going to do them? There is enough money that will go around everybody if we actually monitor this thing judiciously. Okay, look at Kogi State, the newly sworn in governor, who is not up to a week now. The first appointment he made, the cousin, is a cousin or a nephew to the immediate past governor, the man who is having a case of 30 billion naira hanging on his neck by EFCC. Now you have given that man that appointment. 37 billion, do you know what it will do to the civil servants of that state? And somebody is keeping it to himself. You have not even proved that person, you have not punished that person, he has not paid any price for it, you are giving him another top position. Then tomorrow you will tell us there is no money to pay civil servants. Why are we like this? Why? When will the heart of man, especially the black, be transparent for everybody to know that yes, we are heading somewhere? It's not fair. It's not fair. And we do it with impunity. Nobody checks. Nobody does anything about it. And if you do it and go away with it, I also want to do it and get away with it too. Because all of us cannot be in the same field and you are the single only one person out of punishment. It's not fair.
Okay. There's been this war of words between Atiku Abubakar, PDP candidate in the last election, and the president over insecurity issues in the country. A few days ago, Atiku called on Tinubu to resign if he knows he cannot, handle the security problems in the country. And APC has fired back and saying that Atiku is, playing politics with a very serious national issue.
What is this? What is the politics Atiku is playing? This thing is addressed to the eyes. Everybody is saying it. I remember the interview granted by the former loquacious minister of information, the man from Kogi.
Is it Lai Mohammed?
Lai Mohammed. When he said the government of Jonathan should quit office because of insecurity. Now, they have said it to them. They are saying that the man is playing politics with the national issues. What is the politics the man is playing? Is there any day you, Alex, wake up and you hear of killings less than 10, 15? There's somebody tell you the reality. Instead of you to have even come out and say, look, let us summon, even if it is a security, let us, what do they call it? Let us emergency on a security issue.
State of emergency.
Yes. They are telling us that the man is playing politics. And is this saying that that all these news we hear really they are all fake? That nobody's been killed, nobody's been adopted, nobody's been sent to the Gulag? Oh, look, we should be able to call a spade a spade. Somebody wrote something 2 days ago. He said the heaven is populated with sinners. Heaven will not say hell. Heaven is populated with sinners who say sorry. While the hell is populated with the righteous and refuse to say sorry. Look at that scenario. We are having a situation of emergency. We have gone to that level of state of emergency and security matter. Then the man is telling you, do this, do that. Instead of you to have said, okay, my cabinet, let us sit down. This is what we're actually talking about. It's a serious problem. What do we do? You are saying the man is playing politics with the national issues. And should we wait until we have the president being kidnapped, which nobody prays that it will ever happen. There wasn't no last week or 2 weeks ago, they went to Barracks to kidnap. Now, before this administration, the advance convoy of Mr. President was waylaid on the road, and you are telling us that somebody is playing politics with the situation of what is on ground. What is the politics the man is playing? Can't we be able for the first time even say the truth? What is wrong in saying that, oh, this situation, this is the way we are, this is the level we are, this is where we are going. How do we go about it? Leadership is by listening to the people and implementing the people's opinion, not to your own detriment, of course. But you take the opinion of the people, join it together with what you have, then you forge ahead. But for this, anybody talks, oh, the man is the man is disgruntled. This is what we talk, is playing national politics. We talked last time, they say, oh, is still suffering from election defeat. Yeah, you don't make this type of statement. Even if they have something to offer to help your government, they will draw back. They will draw back. And everybody knows what is happening. Look at it. You kidnap somebody who has not been able to even pay the children's school fees. You say you go and bring 100 million. How? How come? When would the person raise 500,000? You're asking for 100 million.
Okay, let's talk sports now. Nigeria's Super Eagles are still in the African Cup of Nations. After their game against Cameroon, 3 of the Super Eagles players were tested by CAF, and thankfully they've been given a clean bill of health. And I don't know, but let's talk about this. Was there any need for, CAF to test these Super Eagles players? And is there any underground thing that we don't know?
No, I don't think there's any underground something. Okay. It is normal to test those players. Because when you see some of these players, the power they put into hitting this ball, some people will think that it may not be ordinary, that they are under influence of drugs. And before Osimhen said it, before the last match against Cameroon, Osimhen said, I was not given the African Footballer of the Year in a nightclub. I was given that award because of what I do on the field. And I'm going to show it against Cameroon. And actually, the victory from that match is attributed to Osimhen. That first goal, the guy tried to pull him down, pulled his trouser, his knicker, pulled his hand, pulled everywhere. The guy was still going until he found that opening and he sent the ball to that guy, young guy that scored that goal. So they looked at it now, boy, this power is like
something is assisting
an outer space. And something must be wrong with it. Let us test this guy whether he was actually on a steroid or not. You know, this incident backfired into those days when Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson were competing. You see, if you look at Ben Johnson's eyes at that time, it's very sharp. And after the race, they looked at it and said, no, the way this guy ran, I don't think he must have done it with his natural powers. Let us see whether he did. And they tested him and he actually came out.
And then he failed the test.
It is better the way they tested them and they came out negative than not to test them at all. And the rumors will be everywhere that the Nigerian players are using drugs. Because actually nobody expected that result to have gone 2-0. They played with determination. Just like what happened between South Africa and Morocco
last night. Yeah.
And Morocco even ended up getting a red card at the end of the day. Small teams are disgracing big teams now. And somebody was saying it and said, how no, all these countries should pack and go, they are useless. I said, boy, football these days, every country has professionals overseas.
True.
They have in Ghana and Germany, they have in America, even in America, they have in Europe, which is the largest buyer of African players. Yeah. So you cannot say somebody is now a superpower. Nobody is a superpower anymore. In those days when Brazil was still playing the World Cup, when I missed playing the World Cup, when they were winning the World Cup, before any competition would say, Brazil going to win now. This is Brazil going to win now. But these days, you hardly even see the Brazilian players on the field. Other countries have come up. Look at Cape Verde in Africa here. Who do I expect Cape Verde to have even done anything? But Cape Verde won all their matches. I think they were able, yes, they drew the last match.
They drew one. They won two.
The last match.
Yeah.
But see the way they played. In the last edition, they came, when they exited the competition, the coach said the best team in this competition is going home. That was the statement he made. Now they went to the built on that. And look at them today. Who among their players is known internationally? Nobody. But these guys are churning out results. So there is no more big team, no more small team. When Nigeria was placing alone, then Okocha and Co, Okocha, Kano, and all those big boys were still in the team. The Sierra Leone coach told them, said, look, let me tell you, this is players, so let me tell you something. These 11 Nigerians you are seeing on the field, they have two legs, just like as you people have two legs too. So whether they call one, oh, I am Okocha, I am Kano, it's the same 2 legs they have with you. Go there and play that ball. Don't look at their faces. Don't say, oh, Okocha is coming, I'm afraid. No. And they went into that match. Nigeria was lucky to have drawn that match. Determination. Everybody is not determined. Nobody is not a minor. Nobody is a major. Everybody is footballers.
Okay. Let's go to the Punch newspaper. Let's look at the stories making the headlines on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Abductors demand 100 million naira for Ekiti school children and teachers. That's we also saw this on the front page of Nation newspaper. It's a sad one indeed. And still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, above the masthead, Naira plunges in official market. CBN warns forex dealers. Nigeria, IMF foresees weaker growth. 200,000 naira minimum wage no longer realistic. That's according to Labour. Whatever that means, that story is on the front page of the Punch newspaper. NNPCL woos South Korean investors for gas projects. And 300 stranded Europe-bound Nigerians returned from Libya. And Fashoranti remains FM&TV leader, not Adebanjo. That's according to Secretary. Adeleke imposes curfew as 2 die in communal clash. That's in Osun State. That's that from the Punch newspaper. Let's go straight to Vanguard newspaper. And it's still on the kidnappings in Ekiti State. Worsening insecurity. Kidnappers abduct pupils. Teachers demand 30 million. Okay, Vanguard says 30 million. But Punch and I think the Nation are saying 100 million. But we do not know which is which now. But the bottom line is the pupils and the teachers are alive. They have reached the families and they're making financial demands. And still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, new minimum wage negotiations will reckon with situation in West Africa. That's according to the chairman of the committee. Ayo Adebanjo Oba Olainton remain our leader. Afenifere. Okay, that's on page 4. And then also the front page above the masthead, IMF downgrades forecast for Nigeria's 2024 economic growth to 3%. To 3%. Okay, let's look at Mr. and Mrs. You never knew about my job before you married me. You knew how demanding journalism is. So tell me, what's the fuss about? What's the fuss about? I say, what's the fuss about? That's the Mrs. talking now. And then the man, listen to his reply. I don't talk to the press. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. What's the fuss about? And he replies, I don't talk to the press. Okay, let's now look at the Punch newspaper. Of course, the abduction of students in Ekiti is the lead story on the front page. Naira plunges in official markets. We hear the Naira is about the dollar is about 1,500 now. This was yesterday. I was not seeing the new figures today.
£5, it was 1,755.
Okay, so what does it say? Everyday news story.
Everyday news story. Every day the economy is plunging deeper into the well, and we are happy. You know, maggots is always very happy when they're in the midst of a feast, because that is their home. If you remove maggot from the feast and you put the maggot on the carpet, clean carpet like this, they will die off. They are not used to clean environment. They are used to dirty environment. This situation in Nigeria has gone to an alarming rate that the government should be able to engage all the players of the economy and engage them on a roundtable conference. What do we do? There is no shame in this thing anymore. Everything is lying bare. Come out and let the people know we are in trouble. Those who want to offer a solution will also come up, and don't treat the issue with, this person is not my party member, this person is not my tribesman, this person is not from my geographical zone, therefore whatever he says is against me. No, no. In a war situation, everything is fair. A lance corporal from one of the groups can kill a general from the other side, because it is war. That's why they say everything is fair. Look, with the rate at which Nigeria is going, by the time everybody is 100% bottled up and the bubble bursts, it will be real chaos. Because every day when I say, people will say, oh boy, you are gone through the agitating. You're not agitating. I'm only trying to lay it bare the way it is. Those who are actually the cause of these agitators are the drivers of the economy that have refused to do anything in the face of all these rising prices of commodities. I know this is one of the things that is leading to this incessant kidnapping. People want to meet up because the society recognizes the man that has the money, then they don't recognize the man that has the brain and the credibility. They want to hear how much has he made. He has made it. Why? What way has he made it? They kidnap with some people, like what you just read. One paper said 100 million, another person said 30 million. The LCM of it is there was a kidnap and ransom is being demanded. Either you tie your waist to the wrapper or you tie your wrapper to the waist. The LCM is the waist and the wrapper
are together.
So whatever amount they demand, it is, I will tell you, it is the fault of the government. The government came up last week to say, though they've been saying it before, but they announced it louder that nobody should be paying ransom to kidnappers anymore. Now the question is, can you allow your own person to be in that situation and nobody is doing anything to rescue them, and they're telling you not to pay? Indirectly, they're telling you that if you allow your people to die. I watched it one time when they had all of them sat, and that was when one professor was involved. When they asked all of them to sit, and they were in the bush, and one of the kidnappers came and was shooting them on the legs. He shot 3 people. Shoot this one, shoot this one, shoot them on the leg. And your own people are watching you on screen, and you say, don't pay ransom to these people. And you are not ready to even go and locate where they are and rescue them. Are you telling me that they don't have the intelligence of tracing these people? Are you telling me that we no longer have those that will cause spade and spade and go into the forest and rescue these people? Even if you don't have this information handy, they'll be making phone calls, they'll be making video recordings here and there. What happens to the linkage of the NIN to everybody's account and other information? Why did they ask us to waste that time and resources in doing those things then, if they know that these things are not going to be of help? What is the job of the drone? What are the drone doing? You jumped and behaved like a man on a rock. You went and brought to Kano. I've never had any day to Kano left the park to go and do any exploit. Let me use the word exploit. Then somebody will say, hey, please, this is your man, they arrested, forget about him, don't pay ransom. No Nigerian will listen to that until they start to meet up their responsibilities, Nigerians will continue to pay ransom.
Okay, the minimum wage committee have been inaugurated. Here on the front page of the Punch, Ajero is saying, or Labour is saying that 200,000 naira minimum wage no longer realistic. What is the realistic figure?
It is because the price, there is never a realistic figure. Never. Because now if you listen, I don't know how old you were then during the Georgia period, when Nigeria said the problem is not the money but how to spend it. And they just increase everybody's salary, they dash them. The money they're supposed to have used for future investment, they dash them to the public, to the civil servants. And it is part of the foundation. The foundational problem we have started from that period. Now, if you say 200,000 is not realistic, actually it is not. But the figure that is realistic is also not possible, it's not feasible. Because during this last Xmas, which people impose debt on themselves, as I will say it, a chicken, some of them was going for 30,000. Now, a bag of rice was about 70. That's already 100, only 2 items. You've not talked about the cooking. Oh, I must buy shoe for my children, I must do this. Another 100 is out. In how many? In just 1 week. So there is no amount of money that can be commensurate with your labor. What can be commensurate is the discipline in this person. If government is able to intervene in part of our variable cost of running our homes, even 100,000 will be too much of a salary. Because everything you do now, you pay. Everything you do now, you pay. This place that we are seated in, how much do you use to power your generator in terms of diesel on a monthly basis? I know of a hotel that uses an average of 467,000 naira every month to run diesel every month.
467,000. That's cheap.
No. What am I talking? A day.
Okay.
Because it's about 65 million per annum to run the gen. And you want to tell me how much are you going to charge your lodgers? How much do you sell a plate of food from the restaurant? And there is a level at which you can increase your cost, that's your selling price, that customers will run away. Because you have to maintain those items. Now, if this money this government is sharing to the 3 tiers of government, that is the subsidies savings, as they are telling us, which I have not seen in the physical. If you now bring that money and say, okay, the major problem Nigeria is passing through now is power. Let us reform this power sector. In my house, every day we must buy fuel minimum of 3,000 naira just to keep ourselves alive till about 12 o'clock. Every day. 3,000 times 30, how much is that? 3,000 naira times 30, how much is that? In a month, how much are you making from it? And not only that, but you now buy fuel, you're not talking of engine oil, you're not talking of the cost of servicing the gen itself. I passed my neighbor, is almost 100 plots now. Then that was 14,000, 12,000 in those days. That's why they call it a Hemi said, don't get generator, I don't pass you. So the cost of living is every day going up astronomically. And you are not talking of 200,000. Actually, 200,000 is not feasible. But there can never be any amount that will be feasible in this economy of today. If you make everybody 500,000 naira, it will sparabind around the whole economy, and the prices automatically will jump again. And then the money won't be enough. The money won't be enough again. So the only thing is, like I always said, don't cure the effect of an ailment. Cure the cause. What is the cause of this incessant rising in our cost of living? Go there and tackle it. Now, the food we buy is reducing on a daily basis because of this security from the food basket states. You can't go freely to the north and say you want to start bringing yam, tomatoes, or onions, and all these things. Nobody wants to dabble into those things again. And you want the prices to come down. How? How will the prices come down? If we tackle insecurity in Nigeria that well, nobody can have 100% safe states. Nobody. Even in the US, they don't have it. But to a reasonable extent, if we even have, even if it is 30% state of insecurity, I bet you Nigerians will do something. Now give us our light. If we have light, even if it is 18 hours a day, you take 6 hours. Nigerians will do something. Give us roads. There was this east-west road on the way to port. Got cut off through that flood. It took them how long to even fix it? I've not gone that area for a very long time. I don't know whether I've even fixed it. Look at the junction, the area between Benin and Ologbo and that junction between Delta and Edo. For years, it was there like that until that fire incident that burnt people when that petrol tanker fell, and they now went there and started doing emergency rescue, which was not necessary. If they had done that road, that trailer would have had that accident there, and a lot of lives were lost. Now, let me draw a little attention. Before that, by that Ogotoni market there, you see a pothole there. It has been there for more than 2 years. It has been there for more than 2 years. If the federal is too far from here to see, is the state government also too far from that place to see? Is the local government also far from that place to see? The governor drives from Osubi drives to Osubi over the weekend, come back maybe by Monday. He must pass through that road, and they are seeing that pothole there. They are waiting until one day fatality will take place, and they say, I want government official, which we don't prefer, God forbid, and successfully pass away. Then they will now start rushing to amend it. We should value our moral conscience. Once we're able to do that, look, most of these parties on the island will come down. You remember when Abiola won an election and they said he didn't win? Then Nigeria came up with a lot of English, political impasse, political imbroglio, inconclusive. Several English started throwing themselves up. Prices started coming down immediately because of the charisma of the man that was there. But immediately they annulled that election. Prices went back to their normal state. If in your house, that money you used to buy generator every day, if you save 80% of it, won't it be part of your running? If you cannot even save it in your bank account, won't it bring down the cost of living in your house? Because you have so many other areas that you can plow that money into. The petrol will affect your transportation. From here, do you know from Ozoro to my place, the Elu, that short distance on bike is 1,000 naira. It's about 5 minutes ride. 1,000 naira. They will tell you you don't know how much they sell for it. And you can't actually blame these people. Go and find out the cost of repairing a bike. Even that chain alone. They will tell you 6,000, 7,000. And you are charging 200 per drop. How many 200 will you charge to make the cost of the chain that you want to replace? That does not include the fuel and the engine oil. That does not include the servicing. And most plugs they sell these days, some of them last only 2 days, 3 days. And you have to go and buy another one again. And you have to be in the market. So by the time you bring the cost of all those things down by giving us the right social amenities, it will affect every other thing. You cannot tell me that you buy petrol for 200 naira and you will charge 1,000 naira from for a distance of less than 5 minutes ride. It's not possible. Everybody has that conscience. Okay.
Let's go to Afenifere. There seems to be crisis in, I don't know if that's the right word to use.
Crisis in the leadership.
A few days ago, they came up to say they no longer have acting leader. Ayo Adebanjo is no longer the acting leader. They appointed someone else. But I think the faction, another faction, which in support of Ayo Adebanjo, has now come out to say Ayo Adebanjo, Oba Lainton remain their leaders. You know, so
2 persons are leaders.
Yeah, so no, I guess probably the leadership made up probably Ayo Adebanjo and Olainto could be from probably no, I think Ayo Adebanjo is the leader, Olainto maybe the secretary or deputy, whatever it is. Those are the 2 people they recognize as their own leaders. Outside the other ones that the body came up with a few days ago. So what really is happening in that? Social culture.
That position from the West, right from when I started growing up and started following the things, it's almost a life position. When Awolowo was the leader of the West, nobody discussed about the leadership until Awolowo died. And when Awolowo died, may his soul rest in peace, one of the greatest Nigerians that ever lived, the mantle fell on the wife. There was a serious debate. No, we cannot give it to her. We cannot. Then some people rose up and said, no, this woman has been loyal to the cause of Afenifere. Let her be in charge. Now the woman was holding that position until she died. Then Abraham Adesoya came on board as the leader of the Afenifere. He held that position until he died. It's not an elected position. It's not a political matter. And now that it's the son of Adebanjo, I don't know whether he has heard anywhere, because you cannot say he has overstayed. You don't overstay. It's like the kingship. The king never overstayed. It's only a life position. So the issue of the Afenifere, definitely the wall is beginning to crack. Otherwise, it's not an issue they bring to the public. Yeah, the Yorubas are so sensible to the point that they will be fighting and killing you. You will be smiling with them. You won't know. So the Adebanjo should be allowed to continue and follow that norm. Because if they have to remove him and bring in another person, that same person not to someone who will rise up from somewhere else and fight him and so remove him from power. The position is not an electable position. I
was discussing with someone, I think a day or so after this incident happened, when Adebanjo was removed, and the person said, of course, the reason why Adebanjo was removed, because Adebanjo was very vocal during the election.
Yeah.
He didn't back President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and maybe for that reason, that's why maybe what's happening to him is happening to him. Do you think that's the reason why he's been removed?
It can also be possible. There is nothing that is impossible. They will play it behind the scene. I said it just now that I don't know whether he erred somewhere. And it's not only the president, most Nigerians, if you don't support them for anything, if they succeed, they just take you as a permanent enemy, which is very wrong. This thing was called a contest, and it still be called a contest. And the contest is more than one person. So if somebody did not support you, and because of that you want to punish the person, it's a very bad way of leadership. Because when you are contesting the primaries of any position, you are an aspirant. When you win, you become a candidate. When you win again, you become the leader of the people, not the leader of not a sectional leader. So if you did not support Mr. President in his bid, what of had it been? It was his person that won the election, and they cut off the president and his people. Would they also like it? Would they also like it? The problem we have in Africa is keeping unwanted or unwarranted enemies. That's the major problem we have. If this person has the capabilities of doing that thing, but because he not vote for me, he's not in our camp. We went somewhere one day on the political movement. We all, in our area here, we give cola, they give us cola, we do all those things, which is not in the West, of course. When they were about sharing that cola, somebody said, me, okay now, I am not part of their group. But when we were supporting cola that everybody was bringing money, I was part of the group. But to share the money, they say, you're not there with us. And what they did, they returned the money I used to support the cola to me. Just that I say, give them the money you support back. And I told them, I said, look for the information. I didn't come here to come and share cola. I came for a different purpose. So that one is nothing to me. You that is sharing this money, I don't think you are better than me. That is the type of bitterness we practice in this part of the world. If Adebanjo did not support the president, and the president is in power, why don't you extend olive branch? Look at what happened in Kenya last time, when they bombed that supermarket. The opposition leader was the first person to go to the president and tell him, we are solidly behind you. Not by phone call, not by text message, not by WhatsApp. Physical visitation. We are behind you. We will bring this thing to an end. It can never happen again in Kenya. Have you heard of any bombing again in Kenya since then? But here, we want to draw enmity from every, and all of us cannot be in one party. If it is so, then we should have been having a one-party state. If you get your position, look at the people that can do it. Do this work for you. Don't Alex, in the area of journalism, Alex is super. But it's not in our party, boy, I don't want to hear that issue. Put him there. Who is this person? He's from so party, but the guy has brain. He's a man that sees tomorrow. Put him there. At the end of the day, that's why they say leadership is not just what this Bible dictionary is defining to us. Leadership is that man in a position that knows where he's going, how to get there, and how to carry people along. That is leadership. But by the time you start going there, I beg, like, put this on, whether it's Abiam or not, it will work for us. It's a wrong notion. The country will never grow.
Okay. We still have two more newspapers to look at, The Guardian and Daily Trust. Let's quickly look at The Guardian newspaper. 7 states on Niger borderline, I beg your pardon. Bandits, smugglers reign as sanctions hardship ground communities. That's the lead story on The Guardian newspaper. And of course, the minimum wage issue is also being mentioned here. Workers demand living wage as federal government unveils negotiation committee. Police officers murder suspects, cultists, others nabbed over crimes in Ogun. Okay. Nigerian ranks 145 on Graft Index, scores 25 out of 100 points. Tuition fees hike imminent as private schools spend fortune on security. Again, Senate summons service chiefs over insecurity. Sign executive order on unexplained wealth Dume tells Tinubu. Okay, let's quickly look at Daily Trust newspaper. 20 years after, 26 states failed to implement new pension scheme. Federal government, private sector employees benefiting. Experts urge governors to enroll workers. Pension fund assets hit 17 trillion naira. Tinubu tax minimum wage committee to dialogue in good faith. IMF downgrades Nigeria's economic growth to 3%. Wike approves 30.9 billion naira for rehabilitation of schools. Abductors place 100 million naira on Ekiti pupils. 4 others. President condemns killings of monarchs. Task security operatives on rescue. Okay. Finally, on the front page of the Daily Trust, directly below the masthead, step aside if shoes are too big for you. Atiku tells Tinubu, you're still nursing defeat hangover presidency. We've talked about this. Yes, and Atiku telling the president to step aside if he can't handle security issues, and the APC firing back at him, saying he's still suffering from election defeat hangover. Okay. Yes. Let's see. I don't know if time will permit us to take. Okay. Let's see this one. Seven states on Niger borderline. Bandit smugglers reign as sanctions hardship ground communities. Before these guys, when I say these guys, I mean Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso exited the ECOWAS. They've been called, even lawmakers who are from that part of the country have been calling on the federal government to ease the sanctions on Niger, because people who live around that area are suffering, and now they have pulled out. It does look like the sanctions will be tightened more. That means more sufferings in that area. With the bandits, smugglers, and all of that happening, that means everything will triple or even quadruple.
Do you blame these people for pulling out of ECOWAS? You are in a group, you are not enjoying anything from there, you are not benefiting anything from that. They want to force you to continue to be there. You plan a coup in West Africa. The other West African nations will stand up and say, no, ECOWAS must go there and return the other, that is the ousted government back to power. It is good. But when that government in power was misbehaving, what did ECOWAS do? That's the next question, the question to be asking themselves. You are telling the whole world is crying. This man is doing this. This president is doing this. The ECOWAS leadership will sit down without doing anything. Then when the citizens now come up to say, no, we are no longer interested in this your government, get out and give us our government back. The ECOWAS will now go there, carry tax and everything. No, you cannot ask the government. To me, you cannot place your leg on the throttle and the same thing, place your leg on the brake, and you are firing the two together and you expect the vehicle to move. It is wrong. It is wrong. Do you know that the tapping of the mineral resource in Niger for years by France? Are you telling me ECOWAS was not aware? Did they do anything about it? Now that the people discover that their rights are being trampled upon and they are making them a perpetual poor nation, and the boy stepped up and said, no, we can no longer take this. My friend, get out and let us take our country. ECOWAS is not bearing their fangs. When it was happening in Liberia, the ECOWAS not keep quiet. What of the Gambia? Were they not keep quiet? What of the old Olympio? You remember Olympio? What did the ECOWAS do, or ECOWAS? Why wait until there is crisis before you now start going there and you tell them it's a sovereign nation? It's a sovereign nation. But when it happens in your country, you will be the first person to issue a warning letter to the international communities that we are capable of solving our problems. This is an internal crisis. Nobody should delve into it. But you are delving into the affairs of others. You cannot continue to keep a child in perpetual darkness. One day the child will grow. So if ECOWAS or ECOMOG, whatever they call themselves, actually wants to be seen as a corrective body, when there are complaints from member bodies, go there and look at the complaint. The president will stand up and order immediate or entire wiping off of an area. And you see that in your place. And when those will react to that, say, no, you cannot remove a democratically elected government. But when that democratically elected government was trampling on the rights of people, you are not concerned. Okay,
let's see if we can sneak in one last topic now, or discussion. I'm trying to look for, okay, I've seen it, the Guardian newspaper. Tuition fees hike imminent as private schools spend fortune on security.
Yes, it's normal. Nobody wants to trade at loss. We've discussed it even in this very session, this newspaper session we're having. When your cost, like one of my persons told me, go into buying and selling. when they increase the cost, you to increase your own selling price, the security issue is gulping so much money from people. And the only way to meet up is to also increase their own source of income so that they will be able to pay up the security and other issues. Many people are not even installing cameras around them. It's part of security cost. Some of them are going for security satellites around their homes. It's still part of the security cost. And what is their own product they are selling? It's the students. And they have to increase the fee to meet up their variable cost. And the parents of those pupils, in their offices, they are talking of 200,000 now. If you have three children and they are paying 60,000 naira every time, that's already 180. How much is left with you?
20.
You will not give them money to feed. You will sit. Look, we're in shambles. We should be realistic with ourselves. Not until you believe that you are in problem, you will never solve that problem.
Okay, Comrade Odomo, I think we are in problem.
The country's a problem.
Here we're in problem because we want to leave the studio now. We're out of time.
So you are chasing me out of the office? Are you saying that if I cannot take care of the security here, I should get out of the office?
We have just been signaled to wrap things up. Thank you so much, Comrade Ife Odomo, for your expert analysis. And this is Joy cutting on the papers this morning on Quest Television. We will return tomorrow, same time, same station, but definitely the same papers, but of course there will be different issues to look at. My name is Alex Ogunnaya. Michael Gubadia will be here in a jiffy with the Quest today. Good morning.